Hi, I'm Christian Guzman, and I approve of the Board Shorts and Banter podcast.
Josh.
Tom.
How are we?
Mate, I am just getting over what has been an unbelievable weekend. I've got a little bit of a sore throat, a little bit of a sniffle, so I do apologise. But yeah, that's how we're doing. How are you, Tom?
Sick? You feel a bit sick?
It's the come down of adrenaline and everything. It just makes me not feel 100%.
Got you. Yeah, I just feel absolutely knackered, mate. But what a weekend. So good. I think that was my first time at a show not competing. I don't think I've ever been to a show where I haven't been competing. No, once to watch my my brother-in-law compete, and that's it.
Your brother-in-law? That's a rogue one.
What do you mean?
Who?
Mr. Ben Stubbs. You've ever heard of him?
It rings a bell.
Ben, everyone go check out Ben Stubbs Fitness on Instagram. He's my brother-in-law, who's married to my sister, like my OG training partner, like back in the day.
Magical.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, welcome to the Board Shorts and Banter podcast with your hosts, WNBF Pro Josh Croggan and UKUP overall champion Tom Stockton.
Yes. Welcome back, people. First and foremost, Josh, that is a very nice hoodie that you got on.
Yes, it's a lovely colour. It's like toothpaste.
I think it's called Powder Blue.
Powderloo?
Powder Blue.
Right, okay.
Yeah, Powderloo, mate.
Powderloo, bro.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Powderloo.
Oh, mate, we need to do the draw. I've got all of the names of all of the people that used BSB. So I need. Have
you got it now?
No. I can't do it now because I need to enter them all. So I need to do it after this podcast. What we'll do it on the next podcast that we record.
Okay. So next week, guys, if you ordered on the last launch, you will find out if you have won in the next podcast. We have really took a long time to do this.
Yeah,
we're currently 25 days late. So the time that we actually come to do it, we're going to be 32 days late, probably.
I bet people literally think we've scammed them.
Yeah. Because I was thinking this earlier, like, I hope you've took control, and obviously you have. So, well done.
Mate, yeah, I've sorted it out. Don't you worry. So, yeah, we'll be doing the draw in the next podcast. So anyone that has used code BSB is entered for their last draw, for the last launch that we did. So, yeah. And if you want to get discount on the next launch that's coming up on Friday, 8 a.m. this week when you watch this video, then use code BSB.
Yes, it's the launch is like a spring-summer launch. They've got blue hoodies, pink hoodies, greys. The front logo here is embroidered, and then the back is printed. It's very nice.
There's joggers,
very nice.
there's shorts.
Obviously, you are.
There's joggers, there's shorts.
Joggers, shorts. There's socks. The socks are elite. And there is also good boy Tom, perfectly demonstrated there.
Yeah.
And there's also tank tops.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's lovely stuff, and it's a little bit thinner as well because obviously it is getting a bit warmer now. So you don't want those thick ass t-shirts. So go with the spring summer vibe.
Spring summer. Anyway, this past weekend it was the NBW Classic, the first natural bodybuilding show of the year. And it was pretty sick. There was 170 competitors across the day, varying from people that have placed at British finals before, that have won areas for improving. Someone that's just stepping on stage for the first time, but yeah, just so impressive. Do you
want to give a rundown of how your boys got on because you got the long list?
Yeah, shall we do like our clients and then like a few standouts and whatnot? Yeah. So
let's go.
I had 6 boys competing. I'm going to read it off for Instagram actually because I am worried that I will end up missing someone by accident. So I had James Dobbin, Theo White, Giovanni. I can't say Gio's surname. It's
Italian?
Greek. It's Greek.
Oh.
Tom Hermitage, Mark Stevenson, and Jack Bennett on stage. 5 of them doing men's physique. One of them, Mr. Dobbins, doing bodybuilding. Mr. Dobbins started off the day with a appearance on the first timers bodybuilding stage, which I believe there was 11 or 12 competitors, which is massive. James is 42, 43. He's not a spring chicken, but at the same time, he's not a bloody grandmaster. He's a master. He's a masters. And he took 4th in that class of 11 or 12. And then he was on a little bit later on in masters where he took 3rd, and he looked absolutely mint. And from this is obviously like, I'm going to say this in a really biased way because I'm his coach. The improvements from the first showing at 11:30 a.m. to his second showing at around 2 p.m. was mad. Obviously being the first timer, being the first person on stage that day, I think he was just really, really nervous. So he overposed. He just didn't relax and enjoy it. He looked like he was in pain when he was posing.
Closing his eyes.
Closing his eyes. And then the second time when he went on, absolutely fine. Chilled, looked better, got a better pump. I think he just chilled out a little bit from obviously having that first dip in the water. So hence the improved placing. And
on that stage, he looked fucking nuts. Obviously, there's improvements that need to be made, and obviously you're getting to work on that right now. The density on him, man. Like the density. He was obviously posing really hard. He didn't need to. He just didn't need to because the density there, and obviously he was just wearing himself out. Probably helped him tighten up a little bit more on stage.
Yeah.
But just over posing, he didn't need to because it just looked crazy, mate.
Yeah. Yeah. But this is the beauty of the first timers. You can make them changes, and it propels you forwards.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, I had Theo White in men's physique first timers class A.
Human kendo.
It was probably, of the 2 men's physique classes, it was probably the one that was of a higher standard, deeper into.
Wicked.
Would you agree?
Yeah. Wicked. Bar 1 or 2 people, everyone was in shape.
Everyone was in shape. Yeah. I've been to this first timer show now 3 or 4 times over the years, and normally you see 2 people max that are on and peeled.
Mm-hmm.
This one, I'm going to say 8 of the 10 lads were on.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very much on, which is obviously great to see. Theo took 2nd. He got beat by a lad called Emmanuel. Emmanuel's a little bit of a freak. He's not my preference in physique. I'm very much a fan of balance, conditioning, and well presented posing. Emmanuel was just a little bit bigger, not as conditioned, more genetically gifted rather than. Not saying that Emmanuel's not worked hard, but Theo isn't as genetically gifted, therefore has to work harder to, balance out the genetics. And, lack of genetics, let's say. He came 2nd. He looked absolutely mint. Couple of improvements on his posing and maybe a little bit leaner in the next 2 weeks before the PCA show. And we'll be on to another good showing.
Has he got 2 more shows?
3 more shows.
3 more. Okay. Yeah. He looks
maybe 3.
He very much does remind me of Reese Kiffin on stage.
Yeah.
Just the shape. Wicked. And once he just gets more muscle maturity and fills himself out more, very, very good look. There's not really, he doesn't really have probably do more delts, I would say, but no blaring weakness. You know what I mean? And that's good. That's what you want from a physique athlete as well.
Yeah. I'm look, me and him spoke about it yesterday. It'll be a case of running a long off season and just bringing everything up to look even more of a physical presence on stage. But he's got a very exciting future ahead of him.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, I had Gio. Gio also came in 2nd place in men's physique class 2. Gio was absolutely like granite. He was shredded. It was full. He looked like he was enjoying himself up on the stage. He smiled from start to finish, which I love to see. I don't like to see people that are up there like miserable or like a rabbit in headlights. Gio looked like he truly loved it, which, you know, for me as a coach, that's what you want to see more than anything. Obviously, you want to see wins, but you want to see that they're enjoying themselves. The only thing that he really got beat on was Gio's structure isn't as, again, it's like genetically gifted as the chap that won, but conditioning wise, he had him. Stage presence, I would have given it to Gio. It's just going to be a case of making sure that his posing's absolutely perfect for the PCA show. Probably not going to push much with the fat loss now. Because in my eyes, he's in. You know, his lower back's absolutely shredded. All of his abs are visible. His chest striations, top to bottom, he's mint.
Everything's there for him. The only thing is posing. Just needs to relax. Get in his flow. You know, he's very like quite a rigid poser. But again, that's just like because you're thinking about what you're doing, aren't you?
Yeah.
You're really thinking about it.
It is like dancing, right? The worst dancers tend to be people that like think about where they're going to put their arms, where they're going to put their feet, and then they're really thinking about every part of the dance. Whereas the best dancers just kind of like go with the flow. They go with the music. That's what you got to do with posing. You've got to obviously know what pose to end up in. You can't just wing it, but just flow.
I'm expecting the salsa from you next time, mate.
Oh, mate. Well, having seen your dancing on stage and Kez doing the moonwalk, I think that is the way forward. I'm going to be giving it some right shimmy hip action.
Yeah.
After Gio had Tom Hermitage. Unfortunately, no placing for Tom in a class of 5 juniors. He had. I think he came in 4th. I'm not 100% sure, but. The thing is with bodybuilding as well, it's all about improvement. And if you compared Tom last time he went out on stage to Tom this time, it's night and day difference. You would think that there's about 5 years between them, but it's not. It's like a little over. No, it's not. It's a little under 2 years. So I'm super happy. Tom's obviously super young and he's super keen. So he's going to continue to progress. Obviously, he could have been leaner. I think we started prep in a position of maybe a little bit too much softness. Tom's not the tallest guy and he was like 90 kilos. So realistically for him to be absolutely in, I think he needs...
I just clocked 90 kilo.
You were a little bit over it, yeah.
What, the
How
start
tall
prep?
is Tom? 5'7", 5'8"?
Fucking hell, yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, Tom, you did well, mate.
Yeah, but you know, right. So I always look at weight and then strength. Tom's really strong as well. So and he carried the fat really well when he was at 90.
Yeah.
So it was like, oh yeah, you're good, mate. Everything's progressing. Yeah, you're a little bit heavy, but we'll take it off during prep, and hopefully your stage weight won't be, you know, it might be low 70s rather than like realistically mid 60s to low 70s. But you know, it's all important data for the next off season. There's absolutely no way on God's earth that he will be going anywhere near 90 kilos for the next 3 or 4 years. No chance at all.
Yeah.
But, you know, you don't know this until you've come down. It's the value of actually doing a prep or doing a more serious dieting phase, you know, in your earlier years in bodybuilding. Just see where you're truly at. And he's not as well muscled as what we hoped, but considerably better than last time he competed.
It's that balance between, obviously, if he were to push up that hard again and then have to pull down like he has, there's probably going to be maybe a couple more pounds of extra muscle mass there, but that's only going to be sacrificed from having to fucking put yourself in a hole in order to get in shape in time. So it's like there's no point in pushing up that high. You know, it's taken me 10 years. I'm like 5'10".
Yeah, I know, mate.
90 kg.
Yeah,
you know, but now, like when I actually get into a fat loss phase, it's quite easy to get into shape. You know,
yeah,
just take time.
So we got loads of learning from Tom.
And the main thing is with Tom as well. He fucking loves it, mate.
He loves it.
He loves it. I was speaking to him backstage, mate, and he like took it on the chin. He was just like, "That's cool. It's fine. I'm better than what I was last time. come back again. Simple as
He's
that.
young as well. Like he's
So young.
yeah. He's either 20 or 21.
Well, yeah, like I competed when I was 23 for the first time.
Yeah, same. So, relatively speaking, he's years ahead of probably where I was at his age, which is always
Smashed it
good.
on that.
Right, second to last chap on stage was Mark Stevenson in the Masters Men's Physique class. Mark is an absolute legend. He's such a nice bloke. I've been coaching him since September last year, and at the start, he was very much clear on, Josh, I have 2 kids, I have a job, and I have a life. I do not want to be absolutely killing myself or sacrificing every single aspect of my life for bodybuilding. I want it to fit around everything else. And we have done that, in my eyes, perfectly. Last weekend, so the weekend before he competed, he was out in London having a lovely, lovely time.
What drinking?
Doing whatever the fuck he wanted. I didn't ask. I thought, I'm not asking. I just said, don't be a dickhead.
Isn't it?
Keep it yeah, this is part of my peaking protocol, mate. Go out and get pissed. I was like, just don't be a dickhead. Keep it under control, and then we're just going to peak you from whatever state you're in come Monday. And he was like, yeah, no worries. He didn't go mad. He enjoyed himself. And then we start the peaking process. Mark's like really well muscled, but he probably could have been leaner to get higher up the placings. But nonetheless, we took third, improved. This is the second show that he's done this year. Improved the look massively in the past month, which again, bodybuilding is all about progression, and he's progressed. So, I can't ask any more from him than that. He didn't sacrifice, so I've stuck to my word as well as a coach. And yeah, we're happy. We're really, really, really happy with the outcome. I'm confident he will prep again maybe next year, and I think he'll be more willing to put more into it to get, a greater return, because he's got so much muscle. His abs are like thick and deep. Again, it's just a matter of making more sacrifice to get the return of greater levels of fat loss.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, maybe next year it's just going to take, again, that little bit more sacrifice. He's dipped his toe in now, but now it's like, okay, how much do you want it? All right, how much are you willing to actually give up?
Yeah. And for the amount that he's given to it, I'm not saying that he's had the easiest prep in the world. He's obviously had days of low food, but it's not like, if I compare his setup to Tom Hermitage's or Gio's or Theo's, it's different gravy.
Yeah.
But next year, I'm hoping that he will see his own potential if he just gave a little bit more, and will hopefully, get the opportunity to do that.
It's a good example.
And then my last chap on stage was the legend, Jack Bennett, the most fidgety, nervous bloke that I've ever met in my entire life, but also the most honest Yorkshireman. I don't even think he's from Yorkshire, but he strikes me as such a Yorkshireman. Like, I think he's from Lincoln. But yeah, Jack, he was in open men's physique. Jack's 37, 38-ish. So any other federation, he would be deemed a master, or, PCA would be deemed a master. WNBF is not, obviously. They're over 40s. And yeah, Jack did not place, but the standard of the UKDFBA open class was pretty balmy. In it, you had what was the guy called? His surname's Coxedge. Obviously, I won't ever forget that.
Was it like Brad?
Brad Coxedge. He won the class. He looked absolutely mint. He looked absolutely massive. In second, it was some chap called Rocha or something like that. Amazing physique, absolutely diabolical posing. Probably the worst poser in any class of the day. And I hope he's listening, or his coach, because his physique is so, so good. His posing is an insult to men's physique posing.
His physique carried him.
Yeah.
Big time. He's that good that his physique just carried him. Backstage, stood there, top off, nothing missing. Yeah. Blocky, just ridiculous abs, chest, fullness, roundness, that bubbliness that you want to see in a men's physique. I had everything.
Would I have maybe knocked him a little bit for his presentation? Yeah, I think I would. it weren't like 12 lads on stage or whatever it was. I would have probably put him last for presentation.
Yeah,
but his physique, phenomenal.
Yeah, unreal, absolutely unreal. And like, I personally didn't even have. And this is nothing against Brad because I've never seen anyone like in person on a natural stage. I've never seen anyone look like him ever.
I'm going to say something soon, but go on, carry on.
Because I haven't been to enough like international shows, for instance. But I think I was surprised that the UKDFBA didn't mark him down for being too big, and said because he had incredible legs as well. His legs were phenomenal, and I'm surprised they didn't say, okay, maybe you're a little bit more suited to classic or even bodybuilding, for instance. I'm surprised that they didn't because there just seems to not really be much carryover between the years of the look. Like last year, what did they reward? British champion was obviously Jay Macker, and he was tall, slender, athletic. Second to him was me. Again, more of an athletic, slender physique versus Brad, massive, shorter, bit blockier, stocky, just incredible shape, like athletic shape, but just big. So it's like, what do they want? I don't understand it. That's why, although on paper, he wins, but I didn't think it was going to go that way. But it is what it is.
I don't think he was too big. Right. I think the lads that came on in that first group were all quite short kings. Right. So they just don't look that big. Like, you look on people's Instagrams, the stage weight's around 70 kilos. His is probably, 78 to 80 kilos, that Brad.
Mm-hmm.
If you put him in a lineup, because what's he called? Pro coach guy. Zach said it. It was like, if you put him next to Jovan, he said Bobby, but I will probably say if you put him next to Jovan, Josh Ortiz, me, Charlie Brisbane, I think he'd look normal. I think he would look normal. It's just relative to the people that he stood next to on that stage.
Yeah.
That the guy that came second was so short. Like, I stood next to him backstage and he was like, just below my shoulder. Mm-hmm. That's really, really quite short. I've never met Rob Yanis before. I thought Rob was the same height as me. He's quite short. Yeah. So he's obviously this guy that's like, 5'9", 5'8" and a half, 5'9", who's got a decent amount of muscle. He's obviously going to look massive.
Shorter limbs,
He didn't look too big in my eyes. If Chris Bumstead, I know obviously he's enhanced. Stop crying, everyone. If he did the classic physique first timers, would you go, right, he's too big for classic, he's got to do bodybuilding? He just fits the criteria and then it's relative to everyone else that's on stage with him.
Yeah. Genetic freak, mate.
Yeah. Impressive. So impressive.
Yeah, bodybuilding is a short man sport.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is a shorter man sport, 100%. Yeah. So impressive. Like,
yeah, I'm excited. Like, I hope Brad does another show that I'm, there to watch, and I hope he goes up against someone that's a little bit more similar to him. And dare I say it, I hope I go up against him either next year or the year after. So,
anyone would be like scared to compete against someone that is like really fucking good. Like, what's the point in competing then?
Yeah, I know.
This is a prime example, and I know he didn't compete in like the first timers category, but like, you don't know who's going to turn up. And I was speaking to Chris, one of the head judges. Well, he is the head judge, actually, isn't he? Backstage, because that Brad was in the corner pumping up, right? And I was like, like AJ was just focusing on the guy that comes second.
I went on Instagram yesterday, went on my messages with him, and about 2 years ago, I said to him, I think you're pretty good.
Joe.
Do you want coaching?
What did he say?
It was just like, I'll consider it, bro. I think I'm going to do this first prep on my own and then see how I get on. Won the overall at his first show. And then, I don't know who he's coached by now, but Brad, if you're listening, mate, if you want to, dominate the world, hit me up, brother. Yeah, he's very fucking good. Very good. And I shamelessly slid into them DMs.
Oh, mate, you got to play the game. You got to play the game at the end of the day.
Mate, do you know, like when you see potential in someone and you think, oh yeah, I can help this person, you've got to do it.
Yeah.
At no
Yeah.
point waiting for them to come. If you know that you can provide them something that they're obviously, well, they might not be capable of doing on their own, put yourself out there.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, was that all of your boys then?
Yeah, just a little thing on Jack. So Jack didn't get first call out. He didn't actually get second call out. They just kind of called the rest of the numbers to come forwards. And one of the reasons why I think that was Jack's 8. Well, on show day weighed in at 90. What was he? 91.5 kilos, 92.
He was in the 90s, yeah.
He's massive. He's got so much muscle and he's shredded. But his stage presence, right? His concentration whilst he was posing really did like. When they moved everyone off to the side to do the call outs, Jack went and stood behind the curtain. And then when he moved out onto the sideline, he put his hand over his number.
Yeah.
The judges need to see you. They need to be able to see you at all times. And also make sure that they can see your bloody number because they don't know your name. They're not going to go, oh, Tom, do you want to just come out to the front, mate? They're going to read your number. They're going to move you around based off of your number. So make sure that your number is visible at every given point that you are on stage. Make sure that you can see every single judge while ever you're on stage. And another point on that, whenever you're in a lineup on the stage, say if you're on the outside, rotate your body a little bit so that all the judges can see your physique. So many times, and like I understand because you practice doing everything square on. So many times people were just literally focused on that almost like pleasing one judge in front of them when really you've got a panel of like 6 or 7 people or however many's on it. They're all judging you, not just one person. It's not just the head judge. It's all of them. Make sure you angle yourself to suit. And thank me later.
Yeah, 100%. And you are playing a game. Like you're on stage and you are playing a game. You are competing. So it's like you've always got to be thinking, all right, what can I do right now that's going to put me in the best light? And as you said, like even if you're back at the stage, you're doing comparisons with other people, and like I've done it. Like you slip, like if you're angled, so like no judge can actually see you. I literally just like pop myself over a little bit and just look at the judge that can potentially see me through a gap of the people that are getting compared. Yeah. And I'll look at that judge and I'll be like, look, I'm here. Like I'm here. I'm looking sick. Yeah. You know, and that maybe that judge will then tap the other judge on the shoulder, be like, oh no, do you know what number?
This call outs, and I was literally going, Phil, move. And then eventually he heard me and then moved, and then obviously then they brought him out. It's like, oh, great, nice one.
Fuck's sake. Yeah. Prime example. I feel like in your first show, you're not really thinking. You're just there.
You
can't. There. It's very hard to be present and to realize what's going on because there's like adrenaline. You're nervous. You know, there's excitement. So like, yeah, like this is all little things that you do pick up over time. You know, 100%.
Definitely.
Yeah, 100%. And for God's sake, put your badge on the right side, please. I saw so many people covering a number.
Well, right. So there's a bit of a tricky one with this because I've done multiple shows now, bro. They will always in America. They said put it on the side where your hand isn't on your hip.
Right.
So if your hand's on your left hip in your front shot, they'd say to put it on your right. If your right hand's on your right hip, they'd say put it on your left. So
yeah, because Jack poses with his left hand on his hip. No, he poses with his right hand on his hip, I think, didn't he?
No, left.
Left hand. Okay. Yeah, so I think he was covering his number a little bit as well.
Yeah, he was.
There we go, yeah.
Yeah. Tom, enough about me. We're half an hour into the podcast. I feel like you've said 10 words. How was your weekend with your boys?
Honestly, first time getting boys on stage, I couldn't be happier. With not just with them, but with like the day as a whole. Everything ran so smoothly. Even I felt like very confident and comfortable doing it. And I'm just so happy with the results as well. So both boys were in men's physique first timers. We'll start off with Matt first, but yeah, first men's physique first timers A and B, and I thought they were going to be put together, but it turns out on the day they were actually separate, which is always pretty nice, you know, because there's always a little bit of confliction there. But we started off with Matt, and Matt came fourth. Just knocked out of the top 3, which for a top 3 in your first ever show in a class of 12 guys would have been incredible. Obviously going to be biased. I felt maybe Matt could have slipped into third. It was a bit of a toss-up, apples and oranges. Guy in third, in my opinion, had like better arms, a little bit more density, maybe a little bit more like muscle maturity, but shape-wise, Matt was class.
I think the guy that placed higher than him had Matt on size, but I think that was partly down to him not being in condition.
Yeah.
I think the guys that came, so obviously Matt and then the guy that came 5th, I think they had better condition than the guy that came 3rd. Obviously, the UKDFBA or any judges, any judging panel, they will have a bias of what they like. And I think they just went for structure over, conditioning with them two.
Yeah. So basically with Matt, the only thing we need to do is just to dig for more condition, and that's exactly what we're doing right now. So midsection for him, he doesn't have like the deepest, most separated abs. So in order to really bring them out now, we've just got to dig. Peaking wise, perfect. I think we could have pushed in like a little bit more fullness. Just because again he is a younger guy and he's quite like he is quite well muscled for his age as well. He's only just missed the junior category by age, so we've obviously had to go in with the the big boys. But like his stage presence is so good. Like he's one of those guys where you notice him, like your eyes are drawn to him just because he's got big broad shoulders. But not only that, he was posing like he had been on stage before, and that's what I said to both of my lads. It's like if you can go in as a first timer posing like you've done this before, you're going to stand out because there's going to be a lot of people with bad posing, and your posing can carry you for a few places. So yeah, definitely. Even when I noticed he got pushed out that 3rd spot, it was looking like 4th top 5. He didn't smashed it. Very happy, and I know he's got the bug now. He's motivated, which is the main thing. And then moving on to Mr. Will Kempsford, who absolutely blew me away. Like absolutely blew me away. I feel like we went into his prep knowing that like he's not going to be the most heavily muscled guy. Like, and obviously his intention for prep was I just want to get on stage, dip my fucking toe in, see if I like it, pretty much. And he was nails, mate. Like absolutely nails. So Will came 4th as well. Again, in terms of condition, like he was one of the best on the stage, in my opinion. I feel like we peaked him perfectly as well for his first show. Like it's one of those physiques where like you've got to find that fine balance between not getting him too lean to the point where he looks too stringy, because obviously he does need more muscle mass, but at the same time, like still displaying condition, which is competitive. And I feel like we nailed that. For his physique, we did nail the look. And again, posing wise, confidence was fantastic, and he just absolutely loved being up there. And I could tell even when he got called out for his 4th place position, he was just so happy with that. We've like exceeded our expectations for him, or the goals that we set for him. Sorry. So yeah, very proud of him. Very proud of him. And like just the chat we had after the stage as well was just very nice. Very nice. And I could see that he loved every minute of it. So yeah, goal for Will now is literally just to I'm going to try and bring him in just a touch tighter. Like, there's not really too much we can ruin or mess up now. It's just I'm trying to literally knock off like a kilo off of him. Just bring in that lower back just a little bit more. And then we're pretty much going to run it up the exact same. I feel like there's the immediate things we can do to improve is just improving his posing. Definitely big improvements with his posing, particularly like, he doesn't need to do his front double bicep shot anymore. But just in terms of...
Oh, he doesn't...
Huh?
Is he doing PCA?
No.
Oh, he's got loads of time then, hasn't he?
Yeah. We've got 3 weeks for both of the boys. 3 weeks for both. So obviously Matt is going to look completely different. That's the goal. But yeah, with
PCA Telford.
No, I'm coming to the show, but my boys aren't going to be there competing.
All right. Why are you going?
Mo.
Ah, of course.
Yeah.
Are you staying with Mo?
Yes.
Oh, fuck you then. Cheers.
Why?
I'll stay on my own then. Sound. Cheers.
I'll see if I've got room in Mo's Airbnb.
Oh, yay.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. I'll ask him today. But anyway, so yeah, goal with Will over the next 3 weeks is we're going to pull off like a little bit of extra weight. There's an ant on me. There's literally an ant on me. How's that happened? Put in a little bit more condition, work on the posing, job done. And that is going to be his first competitive season. And he's already talking about the off season. And that's exactly what we need to do because,
Great.
structurally, like Will hasn't got the smallest waist in the world. But if we can just fucking spend like a good 3 years just slapping on as much tissue as possible across his top, like bring your best. That's it.
100%.
Yeah, very happy with the
100%.
both boys and how the day went. It was beautiful, mate.
Yeah, I think just a few more things on the NBW show, and then, I think then we can actually wrap the podcast up. Crikey. In the bodybuilding class in general, the standard again across them all was absolutely class. I didn't watch any classic physique guys, but I watched pretty much all the bodybuilding, and it was brilliant. Jack Chan, Julian, I didn't realize until the day of the show that he's had such a horrific time during peak week. Did you hear about that?
Heard about. I was talking to him actually about it, and I tried to ask him what happened and why it happened. It doesn't sound like he's too sure, really, mate.
Yeah, look, it could just be nerves. But yeah, for those that don't know, Julian is a very, very, very good junior bodybuilder, and at 3 or 4 days out, he just ended up with the worst bloating ever.
He showed me a picture, yeah, like this distension of his stomach, proper bubble gut, wasn't it?
Massive, yeah. Poor bugger. How frustrating is that? I had it in Vegas at the Worlds. I ended up with a shits because I was drinking tap water, so I know the reason why. But yeah, it's got to be the most frustrating thing ever where you do your prep, you literally get to a few days out, and then, bosh, stomach ends up massive. Physique's essentially ruined at a few days out. But yeah, him and AJ did a fantastic job to get it back in. And yeah, fair play for him for actually going out there and putting on the performance that he did. He won first timers and then came third in juniors, which is mint given the circumstances. But yeah, I'm excited to see him on stage next time and see the improvements that he will make because he's got a very, very impressive physique.
Yeah. He just looked. You could tell. Obviously, he's young, but you could tell he probably looked a little bit tired from probably a very stressful week. And he still did very, very, very fucking well. And his posing as well. Jesus, he had all kinds of anime and twisting and going on, but it was actually sick, really, really impressive posing.
Yeah. And then again, another young lad, Jacob Tipper, Reese's client, phenomenal.
Unreal.
Overall, so he absolutely pissed teens. It looked like he was a bit of a ringer. Someone that had actually won his pro card and jumping into a teens class. It was ridiculous. And then he went and won the overall. So 19 years old, taking the entire show, which is ridiculous.
Just silly freak factor to him.
Yeah.
Just the density, he's a little bit mismatched in the sense he's very bottom heavy.
Yeah.
But the detail that he's got for a 19-year-old, even in his midsection and how dense his muscle look, is crazy.
Yeah.
And I don't know how you get that. It must just be genetic. No, but he trains hard. He comes from a powerlifting background.
I think he was a powerlifter or something. So you can see where the densities come from because he's obviously just ridiculously strong. And him and Mr. Campbell.
Oh boy.
And honestly, right, to even want to compare them two, you're a fool.
Mm-hmm.
You are a fool. We are living in an era where we've got our own natural Ronnie and Jay. They are going to go up against each other for years and years and years and years and years to come. Hopefully, still natural. Don't compare, just enjoy. Just be grateful that we are in the same world as Jacob Tipper and Josh Campbell.
But if you had to compare, who would you have? I would have Josh.
I'm going to give you my answer, right? And I'm staying true to my word.
I'm asking for your answer, mate.
Jacob has so much muscle, so much, but he doesn't quite have the shape.
There we go.
Josh Campbell has the shape. He's the shape king, but he's not got as much muscle. Bodybuilding is muscularity, shape, conditioning, and presentation. There's no winner. In my eyes, there is no winner. Just be grateful that they are both on the same planet at the same time. They're both phenomenal.
I feel like they've both got a similar amount of muscle. I feel like Josh's is just distributed better. Across the back, across the glutes, like everything. I feel like it's just more evenly distributed, whereas like Jacob's just like a little bit more bottom heavy. Okay. Like I feel like if you had him both in back shots comparing, I feel like it would show.
So right, work it out shot by shot. Literally could go on both of their Instagrams and compare all the shots all the way around. It will be 50-50.
It's tough one.
Even if there's 7 shots or whatever, it's 50-50.
It's on the day then, isn't it, mate?
That's it.
It's on the day. It's what the judges are looking for, and that's it.
That's it. Yeah. And there we
go. It's like me and you. It's like me and I'm a lot more handsome than you.
Tom.
Yeah.
Tom.
Yeah, you may have slightly, thicker arms and whatnot, but I'm just so much better looking. So it's just apples and oranges, mate.
People may not have seen it because it was only on your story, not posted onto your Instagram. But Tom has recently posted a small video of me and him in the posing room at Ultraflex.
Yeah.
You look like a junior, mate.
I didn't realise how like your shoulder width is pretty much the same as your waist.
Yeah, bungalow. Shoebox.
Shoebox.
Shoebox. Just mush. Yeah.
Nick Walker.
That's it.
You are the Nick Walker of men's physique.
Who said that? Who said that about themselves the other day?
I don't know.
Johnny Club. No. Johnny Club. I said, "Oh, Johnny, I've never seen you fart." He went, "Oh, yeah, it's because you don't follow me on Instagram." Oh, great! I'm meant to follow everyone on Instagram.
I've just called you out.
Yeah, in a room with everyone. I was like, "Oh, great, sound."
Yeah. Cheers,
and then he went, "Yeah, I'm like Nick Walker," and I just burst out laughing. I was like, "Yeah, you are, mate. You're exactly the same as Nick Walker." But he was meaning on a transparency front of he'll show all this aspects of his journey.
Yeah. Notable mentions for men's physique.
I have one that comes to mind. No, I have 2.
Rob.
Right, Rob's one. I knew Rob would be one of yours.
Just most improved.
Most improved.
100%.
Again, for those that don't know, Rob competed against Tom at the UKDFBA Northerns last year. Tom obviously won and then won the overall. Rob's midsection that day was like non-existent, but he was still shredded.
Yeah.
Between now and then, I think all he's done is train abs.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, vastly improved. Posing, great. He just needs to be bigger.
Yeah. It does need to be bigger, and that's it. He can bring the colour. I think Zach was saying that he looked a little bit flat on stage, in my opinion. But I think the reason why that may have been is maybe because they're a little bit more conservative with food, just to keep that midsection control, and that obviously sacrificed some condition.
Imagine how annoying it would have been, though, if he'd have come in blasting full and then his midsection do what he did last year, just like look sheened over.
Yeah, no, the flatness definitely would have been worth it for the midsection control, 100%.
Yeah, I would have. There was a chap in men's physique called Seb who had shitloads of muscle, absolutely loads. I messaged him on Instagram, like just to kind of say, I don't think his placing kind of reflects his physique. I think it more reflects the condition that he was in. Like he was in second call out and then held centre stage for that second call out. So he just missed the placing.
Yeah.
He just needed to come in leaner because he's got all the muscle. It's just presenting it and, making sure that you're absolutely in when you're in a lineup like that.
If Seb's listened to this as well, like I felt like Zeb, it kind of reminded me a little bit of you in Germany.
Yeah, that's what I literally, Tom, if you look at the messages, I said to him, it's like me in Germany.
Yeah. I'm observing. I'm watching. I'm watching as well, mate. So it reminded me of you in Germany. It's like he knew he wasn't on or wasn't right. Okay. And then that in itself, the judges, if I can smell that, the judges can definitely smell it,
Yeah.
And if you look like you don't really want to be there, it's gonna knock you down even more. It's like if you start getting mixed around and you fucking get pushed down a little bit in placings, don't let that knock you.
Yeah.
That's your signal to work harder and to enjoy it more.
That takes serious mental resilience, and I think the only way to build that resilience is to go through the process of, not getting the placing that you want. But in my eyes, on a physique front, he's got the most potential because he's got so much muscle.
It's ridiculous.
It could be so much more competitive in a short period of time by just getting anything else, anyone else.
What do you think of Mr. JB?
Mr. JB.
Third place in a lineup like that is fucking very good.
Yeah. Look.
Very, very good.
Make comparisons to his previous showings. He's done enough shows now. First year he came out, he made a series splash because we'd not seen shape like that for, ever, really. And, he drew a lot of people's attention. Then obviously competed against you. And he weren't conditioned enough at all. This time, he's got the condition. Obviously, it's only been, 8 months since you competed?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the condition's there. Now it's just a case of packing on that size. Like, his front is so good. And, you got to remember as well, with men's physique, it's balance, it's flow. You've got balance top to bottom, you've got balance side to side, and then you've got balance front to back. His front, so good.
Mint.
So good. Could have a little bit deeper midsection, but that'll come with time. Spins around to the back. It's just not there. It's not to the standard of his front. So it makes the balance look,
It's one of those, with his back as well. I noticed that he does struggle a little bit to pose it, especially the rear lat spread. So clearly there is a lack of connection with that back, and maybe that correlates to his training as well, and maybe that's why his back development isn't as good as what it could be, especially across the top line. Wicked. If you across the top line, so dense, so thick, and it gives him that crazy taper from the rear and the front. But yeah, there seems to just be a little bit of lack of connection with his lower lats, and especially we're doing the rear lat spread. So maybe there's a correlation there as well. But I think it just needs time away, man. If you talk about what you want from a men's physique athlete, he has everything.
Yeah,
he has everything, and it's just a case of, I think, just grow, put some muscle on, boy.
Just grow, eat some food. Don't be a fat bastard. Grow.
Yeah, don't be a fat bastard, Tom.
Tom, what was the highlight of your weekend?
What was the highlight of the weekend?
I have 3 highlights.
I don't really have a high, bro. I'm just on a high the whole time, man. So the highlight for me was probably seeing Will's girlfriend Abby in the crowd and just how proud she was.
Oh, Abby will be listening to this. Abby's lovely.
She's class, mate.
She's obviously no one's as good as Annabella, but their relationship reminded me of me and Annabella.
Very similar,
side by side. Lovely to see.
Little power couple, mate. Honestly, yeah. So I'll say one of the highlights for me was seeing that, and then also talking to Matt backstage and just seeing how much he loved it and how excited he was for his next show, and just how he took it on the chin as well. Because I knew he was in the mindset of he did want to place, he did want to strive for those top spots, and we're gonna do our best to bring that. But the fact how he took it on the chin, he probably took that on the chin better than what I did with my first show. I was a lot more butthurt. So yeah, I feel like just seeing his mindset for me was so good to see. But then also seeing Abby and what she was like in the crowd supporting Will was just sweet, man.
My highlight of the weekend, or one of my highlights, was Saturday night, having a few beers with my good pal Tom Stockton.
Shandies,
mate. We you and me had such a laugh all weekend.
Literally, yeah.
We've got some right stories, mate. Right stories. But yeah, it was just nice to sit and have some bro time. Obviously, we record the podcast, but we can't just sit and talk shit for an hour because I'm pretty sure people would cancel us. But yeah, we had a pretty good chat. We had a few lovely Cruz Campo shandies, and yeah, it was mint.
It's nice going through the process with someone you both doing the exact same thing, and just chatting about it, sharing ideas, yada yada yada, talking about each other's boys. It's a sick process, man. I love it. It's a good time.
Obviously, me and Tom do the podcast together. We will be doing other stuff in the future. And just know, whatever we do, it's going to be good.
Yeah.
And we're going to bring you guys along, obviously. But yeah, we've got things planned. It's good. It's exciting.
Some little cogs turning.
Yeah. And that's all that we're going to say about it for the next 3 years. Another highlight of mine was Tom forgetting where his car keys were.
Bro.
You're an absolute mong, honestly.
It was a long day, mate, all right?
A long day. It was that long a day, Tom left his car keys in someone else's car?
No, in Will's bag. So
In Will's
backstage,
bag.
like, so when we're like in the chill out area, I obviously just like had my jacket with my keys. I was like, oh, can you hold on to this? Shoved it in his bag. Left with it at the end of the show.
Great. So it was like 10:30 at night, driving to Nuneaton, the opposite direction to what we needed to go in.
Yep.
And going to retrieve Tom's keys, which obviously was so much fun. I'm really glad that we did it, and it was a great investment of time.
Well, Will was from down south, like hours away, so it's a good thing they didn't set off and go down there, because I would have been in Rugby without my car keys, with my car at Josh's in Sheffield, and then I live in Manchester, so that would have been great.
You'd have just been fucked, mate. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
That was a really bad scenario.
I was picturing myself in an Uber going down Snakes Pass.
You came to peace with it so quick.
Yeah.
It was like 10 minutes of looking for the keys and then just being like, yep, they've gone. I'm going to have to get an Uber home. And then I've got no keys to get into my flat.
Well, it is what it is, isn't it, mate? Like, why worry about what you can't control? You know,
very fun.
Go with the flow.
Yeah. And then me and Tom had a lovely meal as well, didn't we?
We did, mate. Yeah, I had a meal. I had a snack. You had a feast.
Yes. I didn't eat at all. Well, we had breakfast.
Hang on, Josh, tell them what you got after the show.
What, the full meal?
Yep, everything.
Yeah, so we went for a McDonald's.
Okay, now hang on, better. I had a wrap, a McFlurry, and a drink.
You had a wrap? I thought you had chicken selects.
Oh, sorry, I had a wrap, chicken selects, and a McFlurry.
Right, thank you.
What
So
did you have,
it's
Josh?
worse than what you was trying to make it out to be.
Okay, yeah.
Right, look. I had a Big Mac, fries, and a strawberry milkshake. And a chicken Big Mac. And more fries. And a Coke Zero. And 9 chicken selects. And that's it. I promise, that's it.
That's all. That was all, wasn't it? Little snack.
Yeah. That was all. I think if I'd have eaten any more, I would have been in big trouble.
You didn't eat all day, so
Yeah.
it's warranted. A little treat, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Balance.
That's what it is. Is what it is. And on
Anyway.
that note,
That is it. NBW Classic boxed off. Beautiful show. Congratulations again to all the boys that competed. Even if you're not our clients, congratulations if you did compete and placed or just had a great day. That's what it's all about with the first time of show. We now move on to the PCA Naturals. Josh has got some boys in that. I'm going to be there. So if anyone is there, I'll catch you there. And then after that, we move on to the WNBF Novice First Timers. What's it called?
Novice First Timers.
There we go. So it's going to be good, mate.
Yeah, we're in for a really fun, interesting month, and obviously, week on week, we will bring you this podcast and we will review what we need to review. We'll discuss what we need to discuss.
Yeah, and then towards the end of the year, I unleash the secret weapon. Joking.
I'm going to put Jake against him.
Do it. They're going to be against each other.
No, they're not, because Jake's like a foot taller than him.
Oh yeah, true. Well, see you in the overall, bro.
Jake will be 25 kilos more than him on stage.
Yeah, but Jake would be 10, 15 kg more than us as well.
Yeah, he will. You will. You're right.
Yeah.
He's like, I need to check his checking today, actually. He's like 97 kilos, and his abs are pretty much it.
Yeah, ridiculous. Just slabs. He's like my client Matt on steroids.
But natural.
But yeah, but natural steroids. Steroids
No,
are pretty much natural because your nuts produce them anyway.
Yeah, of course, bro, of course. Right, guys, thank you for listening. Thank you to All in Bodybuilding for sponsoring the podcast. If you want to snag anything on Friday, discount code BSB at the checkout. Lots of variety, lots of high-quality garms as per usual. And yes, we will see you next week. Love you lots. Thank you for listening. Ciao. Arrivederci.
Ciao, bella.